All right, we're live. What is up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a good day or good night and good whatever, wherever you're listening. It's been 9 months. I know, crazy. I've been gone for 9 months. All you guys that are still around, I can't believe it, to be honest. I completely ghosted you guys, but thank you for sticking around. I have had a lot of messages and a lot of people tell me, Cole, you need to get back on the podcast. Cole, come on, where's the podcast going? I see your clips on Instagram and TikTok at your Heard podcast, but I don't see you like posting any podcasts. Where's your YouTube? I know. I've been away from the game for too long, and I'm finally back. And I'm really gonna take this serious now. I just graduated high school a week ago. I finished up with my classes. I was also doing running start with Clark College, so I had just a lot going on. And obviously, it was my senior year, so I had all those final sporting stuff to do and just soaking up friendships and memories. Because last year of high school, last year of childhood. So I'm finally done with all that, and time to just focus on this and focus on the next chapter of my life. And if you're seeing the title of this video, and if you're watching this video, you know it's obviously called Doing It Anyway. And that's just kind of where my mindset has been, really. I can make all the excuses about not being here for 9 months and stuff, but it was really just me pushing it off and not doing it anyway. I had so much going on in my life, but I could have made so much more time for this and for you guys, so I apologize for that. But anyways, let's get into it. Okay, it's been way too long. So, doing it anyways. As I told you just a couple minutes ago, I graduated high school, and I'm going to tell you something. That was one of the most nerve-wracking experiences I've had in a long time. I have always dealt with anxiety my whole life. I'm open to say that. I've always dealt with anxiety in every way possible. And so much that in certain situations, like for instance, when before like sporting events and before games and even before practices and stuff like that, trainings, I would get so nervous about it that I would literally get sick and have really bad flare-ups and stuff. And it just wasn't fun. And so I hadn't felt that. And so the week before graduation, so 2 weeks ago, I was feeling one of those, that kind of like, oh my God, graduation's coming up. I'm kind of feeling it. I haven't felt this nervousness in a long time. I'm just stressing about it. I don't know how to take it. And then, that week at that hit, that Monday, and I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel a little bit more, but not really. Tuesday, same thing. Wednesday gets a little more. Thursday, the day before, all of a sudden it hits me. Oh my God, I'm graduating tomorrow. Holy shit, there's probably going to be 1,000 people there. Oh my God, what's going to happen? And I'm just like tripping balls, literally just tripping balls. And so that Thursday morning, about 10 o'clock or so, we go and we have to do the rehearsal, right? So they tell me that I'm sitting in the front. So we have to go up there, practice it. And even in that, feel like I'm gonna get sick. I'm just like, breathe. Four in, four hold, four out. You know what I mean? Just relax, calm down. We get through it. It's all good. I'm sitting next to a couple of my buddies because we get paired up, you know what I mean? And I can't stop thinking about it. Fast forward to the next morning, or fast forward to that night, I couldn't sleep. It was bad. I was nervous. I just felt really bad. I couldn't eat. I was just using the bathroom all the time. Like it was just really bad. And I probably got maybe 2 or 3 hours of sleep. It was that bad. Next morning, I was convinced that I wasn't going to be able to do it. I just had it in my head that I was like, okay, I can't do this. I kept calling, people in my family, because we're all really tight. We have a tight group of families. So I was calling my grandma and calling people, and I was just like, I don't know, I'm so nervous. Blah, blah, blah. And they're like, you can do this, Cole. You've been through so much. You can do this. Okay, you can do it anyway. Do it anyway. You can do it. I'm like, okay, I don't know. The day goes along. I'd finally gets to the time, like about 12 o'clock. Graduation's at 7 that night. I'm getting really nervous. I tried to go take a nap, couldn't take a nap. I was literally shaking, restless legs. And it was just terrible. Oh my God, it was so bad. And then finally, it's probably, I think it was like 4:30 or 5, and I have to be at the school about 6. So I called my buddy. I said, "Hey, come pick me up because it's just gonna be too much to drive there and then find a parking place and just too much. So can you come get me?" So, "Oh yeah, yeah, of course." So he comes and gets me about like 5:30. We drive over there at 6. And once we parked the car, And because we came in the back way, once we parked the car in this field and we were walking for maybe like not even a quarter mile to get there, because that's how busy it was, how packed it was, my nerves started to settle down. We got inside the school and I had my cap and gown with me and all my stuff. And we go into the library and the library's packed. I mean, my graduating class was 164, 170, somewhere in that range, right? So we get in there and I see people I know and I say hi to people and I'm saying, congrats and giving people hugs and talking to people, all different types of people. And I put my bag next to a couple girls that, I never really talked to before and I just saw them. And they're not popular by any means or not in any clubs or sports. They're kind of just do their own thing, very, very smart, very artistic, those type of people. And I just started chatting with them. I said, "Oh my God, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous." They're like, "Oh my God, I'm so nervous too." And one of them said that, "Oh my God, I couldn't be able to sleep. And I literally have a puke bag with me right now." I was like, "No way, you have a puke bag with you?" I was like, I literally felt like I've had to throw up for the past 24 hours. I've been that nervous. And then she said something that stuck with me. She said, "Listen, if we can do it right now, anybody can. If we can do it feeling this way, if I can do it feeling this way, anybody can do it. And it's not going to be as bad as it seems." And I was like, you know what? It's not going to be as bad as it seems. Yes, I'm still nervous. And yes, I don't want to do it, but I'm already here. My nerves are starting to calm down. It's not like I'm going to go out there and have a heart attack and something happen to me. It's not like I'm going to go out there and make a fool of myself and make a big scene. No, your brain does that. Your brain wants to think about the worst possible outcome always. And that's just what your brain does. I mean, I've always thought that. I mean, one of my biggest fears all of a sudden was like getting on planes. Didn't want to get on planes, right? And it's like, why don't you want to get on planes? Cole, you've been on planes at least 20 times in your life. You've been to other countries. You've flown for 7 hours straight, and all of a sudden you're afraid of planes. And it's like, yeah, because I don't want it to crash, or I don't want something to happen. Or what if we run out of oxygen? And it's like, dude, you're thinking of the worst possible outcome. Get that out of your head. And it's easier said than done, but that's just where the human mind goes. That's just where your consciousness goes. Because everyone's afraid of something. Everybody's afraid of the unknown. And so that's where your mind goes, is to the unknown, right? You know that if something happens to you, you can die. What happens, right? It's the unknown. But anyways, going back to that, I talked to her, talked to them, and everything started to relax. Nerves started to settle down. Everything felt good. Talking to some other people, and then they said, "Okay, it's time to line up." Oh my God, here my nerves go again. Okay, let me use the restroom again. Okay, use the restroom. We're back. We're lined up. We're talking, kind of chit chat. I'm kind of getting quieter because I'm like, "Oh God, here we go." And then we walk out, and we're standing in front of all these teachers and attendants of the school, and they say, okay, they're gonna walk. So they walk out, and then now it's time for you guys. We walk out. We get all the way out to the field. There has to be over 1,000 people easily. Huge, tremendous. I mean, the crowd was enormous. And then they say, okay, time to go. So we walk in pairs, and I'm walking with my buddy, and they tell us to go. So we start walking, and all of a sudden, as soon as we started walking, I said something to him like, "Are you ready for this?" He said, "Oh yeah, I'm ready for this." I said, "Yeah, I am too." And I'm just doing it anyway. I didn't feel like doing this, but I'm doing it anyway. And he said, "Yeah, we just got to do it anyway." And we did it anyway. We just did it. We walked out, and we're walking, and we're down, and there's chairs on all sides of us. There's a huge stadium, and to the right of me, in kind of like the middle of everybody, is my family. And I saw my uncle first, and then I saw both my grandmas, and then I saw my dad, saw my mom, my brother, um, saw just yeah, saw those people, and I saw my buddy's family right there. And it kind of hit me like, I can do this. You know what I mean? They're all here for me to support me. All these other people are here to support their people, right? It's not like I'm going into this alone, right? I'm not by myself. It's not like I'm being thrown into a fire and I got to find a way to get out. A burning building, I got to find a way to get out. No, this is easy. It's open area. There's people around you that love you and support you. And then we went through the whole ceremony and I went up on stage, got my diploma. That wasn't even hard. And I had to sit down and listen to what felt like 10 years worth of speeches and 10 years worth of names being called for diplomas. But once that was over, it was over. I felt good about myself. I went out to the field. We took photos. I said goodbye to people. I created memories that I'll never forget. And one thing like my uncle said before I got he said to me a couple weeks prior to the ceremony was, when you walk across that stage, it's going to be a really weird feeling that you're not going to forget. And he was right. It was a weird feeling. It felt good. Like I accomplished something, but I'm also leaving something behind. But it just was amazing. It just felt great. And that's the whole thing is that I did it anyway. I did it despite my anxiety. I did it besides the fact that I didn't want to do it and that my anxiety in my mind was telling me I can't do it. I did it anyway, right? Like I said at the beginning of the year, it's my senior year, right? I applied to do running start through Clark. I got accepted into that. I started doing that. As soon as I started it, or even before I started it, I was like, I can't do this. I'm not smart enough for college classes. Like, this is going to be too hard. I mean, oh my gosh, it's going to be a lot of work. I can't do. Like, my mind was just going to the worst possible place. Just, the worst possible place. It was going to the worst possible place. And it's just like, why? You can do it. That first semester, I had three classes, all three classes I got A's in. You can do it. I did it anyways. I did it besides the fact I told myself I can't. You can do it. You can do anything you set your mind to. I know you guys have heard it time and time again, but you literally can. You can do anything. That next semester, what did I get? Got A's again. This last semester that I just finished up literally yesterday, I got one final exam, I guess I got to do in like 2 days when, I don't know, Thursday or something. But anyways, I'm about done. This final semester, I wish I got A's. I got B's, but I was slacking a little bit. Senioritis was kicking in. But anyways, I did it. I accomplished it, right? When the time came for me to sit down with my high school counselor and talk about what I want to do, talk about colleges I want to go to or get into trades or what I'm doing, I was just like, oh, I can't do this. I can't. No, what are you talking about? It's like, no, dude, you were just finishing up high school. You just got done doing these college courses. You're doing these college courses in Clark right now. Why can't you go apply to some killer universities, apply to some colleges? Like, what is setting you back? And I'm like, me. I'm setting myself back. I'm telling myself I can't do it and I'm no good. It's like, stop that. You are good. You're great. You're more than that. You're more than what you just tell yourself, right? And actions do speak louder than words. If I just would have just told myself, you know, oh, I can do it, but then never do it, that doesn't account to anything. But when your mind is telling you you can't do something and then you don't do it, you're speaking for yourself. You're telling yourself, you're showing everybody around you that, yeah, my word does matter. But it doesn't because you have to, you have to go against that, right? But then if I say, oh, I can do it and I go do it, look at you, you did it. So it's always this like game, I guess, if I'm what I'm trying to get at is that it's always a game kind of you're playing with yourself. Can I do it? Can I not? Am I gonna go against my word? Am I gonna go for my word? Am I gonna take the affirmative or am I not gonna take the affirmative? It's just always this back and forth, black and white, just going doing this, doing that, right? And it's like, you know, I realized like with growing and with going through these past couple months is like, it's time for me to decide who I am. Like I know I've talked about growth and struggles and stuff, but now this is like the chapter of my life where it's like I'm doing what I want to do. Like this podcast was something I wanted to do, but I haven't been committed to it. So it's like, am I really committed to this? Is this really something I want to do? Yes, it is. But how do I prove that? Is by being consistent. I've been gone for 9 months. That's not being consistent. That's everything against consistency. I'm grateful that I even have an audience still. I'm grateful that people even follow my TikTok and my Instagram and follow this on Spotify. Like I'm just beyond grateful for that, right? But I'm growing into this next chapter of who I am, and that next chapter is doing stuff anyway, being accountable, being consistent, right? Doing all those little things. too many times I catch myself doom scrolling on Instagram or TikTok and seeing these people making six figures trading and learning new skills and getting degrees from universities, and even people that have podcasts that are successful and they get their clips thrown around everywhere. And then there's other people that post motivational stuff every day, and they're living their best life, eating their avocado toast, making smoothies every day. They got a six pack. They got everything they could ever want, right? But you know what's the difference is between you and them is because you both have the same thing. You both have goals. You both have desires. You both have things you want to accomplish. But the difference between you and them is action, consistency, and dedication. If you're dedicated to something, you're going to be consistent because you're going to want to do it. And if you're consistent, you're going to also be dedicated because and those things go hand in hand with each other, right? And then you're also going to be accountable for your own actions, you know? If I, for me, I wasn't accountable. I didn't do that. I slacked with that. I've slacked with relationships in my life. I've slacked with things I've wanted to do, the person I've wanted to become. I've slacked at that. I haven't taken my word. I haven't made that accountable. I haven't made that a priority. I haven't made myself a priority. I can talk so much about growing. I can talk so much about being disciplined and getting motivation and betting on yourself, but it's like you're not even doing that, you know? One thing my mom said to me a couple months ago, really stick with me was I posted a video on TikTok about showing up or doing something like that, right? Being consistent, like I'm talking about now. And she said, "So you really have a podcast, but you're not even doing those things." And I said, "Well, yeah, I just did it yesterday." It's like, "Well, that was yesterday. You haven't done it today. Did you do it a week ago?" I said, "No, I haven't done it a week ago." There's your answer. I wasn't taking myself serious. I wasn't being accountable for myself. It's so easy for me to pick up my phone and make a video saying, "Oh, you got to show up, you got to do this," but I'm not even doing that for me. So what's the point? So, God, that was a rant and a half. I'm sorry about that, guys. It's been a minute. Just I wanted to get a lot of stuff off my chest, obviously. But no, it's just being accountable, growing, doing stuff anyways, you know. Because I remember ever since I was a little kid dealing with, anxiety, like I said, crippling anxiety. I couldn't do this, couldn't do that, couldn't anything. But all those storms I faced, I've got through. And I'm not even joking when I say this. Every single one of those storms I got through is because I just did that thing anyways. You know, I just did it anyways. I just didn't care. I said, you know what? I can have the worst anxiety in my life. I could be thrown up everywhere. I could tell myself I can't do this and my body is trying to respond to that, but it's like, no, I'm gonna do it anyways. And usually the hardest part is just taking that first step, right? Taking that first step leads to so much, leads to just a lot of good stuff, you know? It's hard to take that first step. Just like graduation, I didn't want to take that first step. I didn't want to be there. But as soon as we got lined up, even when I got into the school, it was just like, okay, I'm here, I'm doing this, no backing out of it. I'm doing it. There's nothing that's going to stop me because the only person that can stop me is me, and I'm not going to let myself stop me. And yeah, I'm not gonna limit myself. I'm not gonna doubt myself. I'm not gonna put myself in a hole. Anyways, that's what I want to talk about is just doing stuff anyways. I'll probably make some more episodes talking about certain things. I know I'm probably rusty. You guys are like, Cole, you just talked for however long in circles and circles. I'm sorry. It's been 9 months. But anyways, we're back at it, guys. Came out of the woodwork for you guys, coming out for myself, doing this for me. I'm ready to grind, ready to get back to it. So I love you guys and hope you guys enjoyed this video and episode wherever you guys are watching this from and whenever you guys are watching this. So anyways, hope you guys have a blessed rest of your day. Love y'all. Peace.